钱一样。哎呦妈哟，超多少车呀！我的天呀！
门都开了公交车了吗？马上就过景了。
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are witnessing one of the most dramatic natural disasters in recent memory, a convergence of a powerful typhoon and large-scale dam discharge. Typhoon Wifa has made landfall on southern China, and as it lashed the region with fierce winds and torrential rains. The Three Gorges Dam, China's colossal hydroelectric structure, was forced to open its floodgates. This decision, intended to protect the dam itself, has unleashed a deluge downstream, submerging cities, inundating farmlands, and pushing millions of residents into crisis. Wifa stormed ashore, bringing gale-force winds and unprecedented rainfall, especially within the Yangtze River basin where the Three Gorges Dam holds back vast volumes of water. Over a short period, precipitation far exceeded all contingency thresholds, and tributaries, rivers, and reservoirs surged toward the dam. As water levels at the dam reservoir approached critical limits, dam operators had no alternative but to release water through one or multiple floodgates to alleviate pressure. Without this intervention, the integrity of the structure itself could have been jeopardized, something no nation would dare risk. Once the gates were opened, torrents of water spilled downward with sweeping force. Cities that lie along the lower Yangtze, Wuhan, Nanchang, Chongqing, and others, were hit hard. Streets turned to rivers, vehicles floated helplessly, and many residents clung to rooftops or sought refuge at higher floors. Urban drainage networks were overwhelmed. Water poured into basements, subway stations, and underground facilities. In far too many places, the infrastructure was simply not built to handle such volumes. Residents described the flood as arriving with terrifying speed. In a matter of hours, entire neighborhoods vanished beneath the floodwaters. Those on ground floors were trapped. Electric power and communications went out. Rescue teams scrambled into action using boats and helicopters, working through darkness, wind, and rain to reach those stranded. In rural areas, the devastation was equally stark. Fields were drowned, crops ruined, and livestock lost. Food shortages and supply chain disruptions loomed. Homes near rivers and canals were swept away. The impact on livelihoods is long-term, lost income, damaged land, and displaced populations. Rescue efforts were mobilized on an unprecedented scale. The military, emergency services, local volunteers, all raced against the rising currents. Makeshift shelters were established in schools, stadiums, and community centers. Supplies of food, clean water, blankets, and medicine were delivered to those in need. But in many zones, access remained extremely difficult. Roads washed out, bridges collapsed, and communication lines severed. Yet the response was marred with controversy. A major criticism has been the lack of timely warning and coordination. Many downstream residents say they received no prior alert about the dam discharge, leaving them no time to evacuate or secure belongings. This sudden release of water transformed a natural disaster into something bordering on a man-made catastrophe. Independent analysts point out that, technically, the dam release was necessary. The reservoir had reached dangerous levels, and failure to reduce pressure might have risked structural damage or worse. But with that technical rationale comes the ethical responsibility to protect downstream populations. In cases of high-stakes decision-making, transparency, prior notice, and coordinated evacuation protocols are essential. Without them, blame and tragedy mingle. As the waters raged on, imagery from drones, satellites, and local footage began to paint an apocalyptic panorama, entire city blocks submerged. Embankments overtop, rescue boats in city streets, and people waving for help from rooftops. On Chinese social media, platforms like Douyin and Weibo lit up with viral videos showing the flood's sudden onset and the desperation of affected residents. In many instances, videos were removed or censored, adding further distress to an already chaotic situation. In terms of human toll, early reports already show dozens dead, hundreds missing, and thousands displaced. At least 15 cities and towns have seen major flooding. Millions of people have been affected directly, and hundreds of thousands relocated to shelters. Power, water, and communications infrastructures have been knocked out over wide swaths. Health officials warn that post-flood disease outbreaks, waterborne illnesses, contamination, vector diseases, pose a serious threat. From the government side, provincial and central authorities have pledged swift relief, financial compensation, deployment of rescue units, and reconstruction plans, but recovery will be lengthy, clearing debris, repairing roads and bridges, restoring power and water, and helping displaced communities rebuild. The real question emerging from this catastrophe: should China reconsider the operational protocols of large dams like Three Gorges, especially under rising climate extremes? In an era of stronger storms and heavier rainfall, extra buffer capacity, multi-sector warning systems, and upstream relief channels become not optional but vital. Dam safety must be balanced with downstream protection.